What up, y'all? Appreciate you showing up, hanging out, listening to my no man, like and subscribe. So, Call of Duty Black Ops 6. Call of Duty Black Ops 6 is going to Game Pass day one. Ponies and Donkey Unicorns are losing their mind all across the world. In particular, Dreamcast guy, I don't remember his name. He's such a goofball. He's like, and you know that Xbox is very much in trouble. They're desperate and they're Shut up! Shut up, you dummy! I know what you're doing. It's just you have to placate to your fan base. I get it, but you're trying real hard. You don't need to try that hard. You need to just sit back, shut up, and praise the thing that PlayStation is doing, which is nothing. That's why they're talking about Xbox so much, because they ain't got no games. They ain't got no nothing. Hellblade is the best thing that happened to PlayStation in a long time. And that is, it's meh. It did okay. People are like, oh, it did so well, fantastic. I'm like, y'all sure? Because I seen a lot of other games that sold way more and made more money and da-da-da-da-da. I mean, Hellblade is, I guess, comparatively, when you talk about PlayStation multiplayer games, yes, it's a huge success. But when you talk about other multiplayer games that aren't PlayStation, not so much. It's like not even on the top 5 list of the best or the most successful multiplayer games. Helldivers 2, not there. No. Anyway, Call of Duty, going to Game Pass day one, has all of these Ponies and Donkey Unicorns crying, denying, wish they were flying to Brussels with Tim Ryan, but they're not. They don't know what to do. They realize that this move by Xbox, by Microsoft, is like the final, it's not the final nail in the coffin, it's the final jab in the ribs of the very long and serrated knife. Yeah, look, anecdotally, I told you I heard stories of people, PlayStation players, normies, waiting to see what's going to happen with Call of Duty. Is it going to go to Game Pass? Yo, when is it going to Game Pass? Asking. Or people who don't know about this thing called Game Pass. And I just realized something. That shout out to Chaos Lounge. He's doing work. I like him. He's a Sega guy too, and an Xbox guy. Anyway, Xbox, for all the things that people are talking about, oh, Xbox doesn't know how to promote their games. They didn't promote Hellblade 2, blah, 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 right? I'm like, well, all right, whatever. That's not a game that you want to... It's not a normie game. Let's put it that way. Hellblade 2 is a niche game, and the purpose for Hellblade 2 is to show off the power of the Xbox and compare it to PlayStation, because PlayStation ain't got nothing like that, and to show off the skills of Xbox Studios, to show the industry what is possible when someone else does a game like that. Not just one company or a couple of studios that always do the same games, and you look at them like, oh, it's cool, oh, that's cool, look at that, oh, look at that quality, and then you see this and you're like, what is that? Is that real life? Am I in the cutscene? And you can't even tell. I'd say there's 2 instances that I remember where there's one instance where the camera actually cut to black once. And there's 2 times where it flew into a white light. Well, one was it flew into the clouds and it went white, and then it came back out of the white. And that was, I could tell that's an old trick for transitioning. So they did that twice. So 3 overall cuts that I've seen. Anyway, that's why Hellblade was made, because they wanted to show what Unreal Engine was, for the potential, right? They wanted to show that Xbox is the king of Unreal, Xbox Studios. Whether it's Coalition, Ninja Theory, and whoever else. I mean, Coalition is doing their Thug Thistle. They're doing the world tour to every Xbox studio and saying, yo, this is how you do it. Boosh. Put the Coalition slap on it and let's go. You know? And I'm like, yo, I mean, I would assume the Coalition kind of helped on this, you know, at least on the technical side. But I'm looking at this game, I'm like, yo, nanites are popping, yo, what the hell? Anyway, Call of Duty. Call of Duty on Game Pass. What are the implications? What is going to happen? Now, I've heard the whole Doom and Gloom Game Gear Dreamcast guy where he's like, oh, they're going to sacrifice sales and they're not going to, and they started doing math. I'm like, y'all need to stop. I mean, I'm bad at math, but y'all look foolish, okay? Because Xbox is already making like $7 billion a year on Game Pass, right? Imagine Call of Duty. And here's the stupid thing about these arguments. What they do is they say, oh, they need to make this much money in order to pay back the $69 billion, $70 billion. I'm like, that's not how it works, okay? The worth of what they bought, that's what they were, I mean, they weren't worth that much, right? Obviously. But they paid more in order to secure the deal, right? And to secure certain, you know, salaries and all the stuff and, you know, to keep the engine going, basically. Budgets for games, all that stuff. And so the deal is worth that much money. It's not like they paid cash, yes, but they got IP, they got people, and they have to pay, of course. They have studios, they have technology, they have all these things that are worth money. So they could turn around and resell ABK if they wanted to, right? And so why is it that they have to make back $70 billion or it's a failure? That doesn't make, like, if you buy a house, right? You buy a house for, I don't know, $1 million. You buy $1 million house. You have the money, right? But, you know, you buy a house and everybody's like, man, how you going to make $1 million back so you can make the money back that you spent on the house? It's like, the house is worth $1 million. It doesn't dissipate and vanish into the ether. It's still here. The house is here, and it's still worth. It's probably worth more now. It would just our conversation. It's probably worth $1,500,000 right now. Well, that's a lot. In a couple of seconds. Anyway, you get my point. So they don't have to make $70 billion in a certain amount of time in order for the deal to be, you know, they have to continually make money or make, you know, that's the whole point of buying them, because they say, okay, well, we're going to overpay, but we're going to make so much money on King and all this thing annually, monthly, whatever, that they could calculate and say, well, minus operating costs, minus, mainly operating costs, and whatever else they need to pay, how long would it take us to make that $70 billion back? And actually, is it really $70 billion? I don't think it is. Whatever they overpaid for Activision Blizzard King, let's say it's $20 billion. Let's say it was $20 billion that they added on in order to secure the deal. So they just need to make $20 billion, basically. How long is it going to take for them to make that? You know? That's the question you should be asking. Not $70 billion. I'm like, I don't understand how they math these things. I don't know if that house analogy was, I mean, you know, the equity and all that stuff. You understand if you buy houses. You know, I've owned a couple of houses. And so I understand. You buy a house, it's like you got money. If worse comes to worse, you sell your house, you got money. Whatever. It's kind of infuriating. I don't know if Dreamcast guy owns a house. If he does, then he's just playing a fool. Whatever. Like I said, placating to his audience. But regardless, Call of Duty going to Game Pass is a game changer. And it's something that the Ponies and Donkey Unicorns have feared since the notion that they were trying to buy them, like 2-3 years ago. And it's come to fruition. I mean, we've known it. Like I said, the Xbox community, we've already known it. Like, oh, they own it? Yeah, it's going to be in Game Pass. It's expected. You know, the tragedy would have been if they changed that policy. And then it's like, well, okay, now I'm a Tim Doggett. Now I'm going to go Tim Pony, and I'm I'm gonna be mad and start crying. I'm not gonna cry. I'm never gonna cry over a video game spilled milk. Let's go. I'm gonna just be like, all right, y'all want to play? Okay, well, maybe I might buy an Xbox, but right now I'm building some arcade machines and put it in my arcade room and just be chilling. I'm gonna have them all playing bleep bloop de bloop bleep. Get ready. Welcome to the fantasy zone. Get ready. All that. That's what I'm gonna do. Because nostalgia and, just simple pleasures. You don't need the highest fidelity dish. You don't need, Nintendo's proven that time and time again. For years they've proven that. So I think Microsoft is starting to catch a little whiff of that. Like, oh shoot, we could kind of make an okay machine, make it cheaper, put it on our arms, you know what I'm saying? Put it on arm, boom, make money, like not lose any money on the hardware, sell a bunch of them because people want portable Xboxes for real. I do. I would buy that. If Xbox did everything wrong, but they made a portable Xbox like that, I'd buy the portable Xbox, and I'd keep it moving. I'm like, all right, well, maybe I'll buy a big boy later. But right now, this portable bad boy, this is good enough for me. And Sony has been using that good enough for a long time. And I think this PlayStation 5 Pro is going to bite them in the ass because the PlayStation 5 is still good enough. But Sony this generation has been so bass backwards with all this goofy hardware that's not selling. PlayStation 5 Pro is going to be another goofy hardware that doesn't sell because it's not needed. Nobody's asking for it. The only people that are asking for it are Ponies and Donkey Unicorns who don't buy games. That's not true. They do buy the games, but the casuals don't buy games. The casuals will not buy a PlayStation 5 Pro because they already have a PlayStation 5. Same reason why most of the PSN users are still on PlayStation 4 because it's good enough. It's good enough. And Nintendo figured that out. Sony figured that out last gen. With the PlayStation 4 Pro, they didn't figure it out now. They just copied last gen's playbook, and they didn't realize, oh snap, the season's changed. We can't use these slicks on the icy roads. They're in trouble. They're not. That thing is not gonna sell. It's not gonna sell what did the other one sell? Maybe 20 million or something like that. The PS4 Pro, maybe 20 million. I'm guesstimating based off of my recollection, but let's just say 20. It's not going to sell that. That is not going to sell 20 million. PlayStation 5 Pro? Nope. I'm going to say 10. I'm going to say 10. It's going to sell 10 million because what's going to happen is that by the time it is closing in on 10, if it actually gets to 10, the next Xbox is coming out. Not this handheld one, the next gen Xbox, which is 2026, maybe, hopefully. In 2 years, if the PlayStation 5 Pro launches this fall, not even 2 years, they're not gonna, nope. Because like I said, it's good enough. If you have a big, giant PlayStation 5, and they're like, here's a bigger, giant or PlayStation 5 Pro, and what does it do? Well, it's got get more pixels, higher resolution. They're like, oh, but did you use the PSSR and with the 120 and our VRR, all this stuff, then you can get higher frame rates. I'm like, okay, well, they're doing that now on this current gen. So why do you need a PlayStation 5 Pro again? Anyway, Call of Duty on Game Pass. Sorry for the tangents, but anyway, Call of Duty on Game Pass is a game changer, like I said. So here's what's gonna happen. It's gonna go on Game Pass. Everybody who has Game Pass is gonna play it. Everybody who's on PlayStation 5, the way that they're marketing, they're gonna market it. The Summer Game Fest, right? They already started the marketing right now, and there's already uptick in Xbox sales. It's ridiculous. They get the wind of this. It's going to be marketing blitz from now to November. Come on, son. 5 months of marketing? Let's go. Come on, man. See, I think that's what it was. Like, I think that Microsoft was waiting, and they're like, oh, Hellblade 2 is not the biggest game. It's a niche game, so we don't really need to push that as far as marketing because the normies aren't going to play it and blah, blah, blah. But when it's a game like Call of Duty, a normie game, everybody plays Call of Duty, then you have to be like, okay, everybody plays it, but something has changed. We got to let them know you get it on Game Pass. And so they got to start early, and they are starting early. It's gonna be crazy. You're gonna see a bunch of people move over to Game Pass. A bunch of people playing on Xbox. Xbox numbers are gonna go up. PlayStation with the PlayStation Pro. I mean, some people will buy it on PlayStation just to play it on the Pro, but honestly, you just get Game Pass Ultimate playing on PC and get a better experience. So, whatever. Anyway, appreciate it. Like and subscribe. Let me know about what y'all think about Call of Duty being on Game Pass. What are the implications? And how do you think Sony's gonna fare in all of this stuff? Are they gonna lose? Well, I don't know if they'll lose PSN members, but Xbox is definitely gonna gain some Game Pass members. So that's what's up. But anyway, I appreciate y'all. I'll catch y'all on the next one too.